All right, so we're going to start to make the open book. We'll start by loading in our images. I'm going to tap spacebar, come down here to my front view, go to View, Image Plane, Import Image. And, I don't want to be here. I want to be in my models, open book, source images. Okay, I'll bring this one in. I'm not going to bring that one in right now. Let's see. Go with this right here. Open book. There's my open book. Move that off center. And then over here in my side view, I'll go View, Image Plane, Import Image. And why is it going into it? I didn't set it to there. And we want to come down here to General. I want to get the spine. I want to see the spine. So I'm going to go with this right here. I'm just using this as a reference. It's not a big deal if I have this or don't have this. I can model this without this book. But I wanted to look at this as a reference here to see these little ridges on here. I want to add those onto my book. But I'm only going to add like 3, not 5 like this thing has. I don't know what they're for. I don't know if it's just a decorative thing or if it's actual structural integrity for the book or some sort of artifact from the manufacturing process. But let's start with the cover of the book here. So that's going to be a cube. We'll select a cube. I'll turn off my grid. I don't need that. I'll go to my channel box. And then the width and the depth. I'm going to get both of those. I don't know, make them 10. Seems pretty good. The height, obviously, is going to have to be much less. Let's go 0.35. It's probably all right. Let's go with depth here of 12. Maybe more than that. Let's go with 13. I'm going to go with a width not of 10, but of 22. Because the book is open. So 10 would be one side, 22 would be both in this case. All right, we're going to add divisions to it. We need to have, on the width, I'm going to have 3 divisions. And on the depth, I'm going to have 4 divisions. Yeah, that'll work. Go to my edge here. Double click, hold shift, double click. Press R, scale these to closer together to make the spine. So that's where the spine's going to go. Can make it wider if I want to, whatever. All right, now I need to add on edges down the middle here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to double click my insert edge loop tool. That's underneath mesh tools. If you don't have it on your custom shelf, go to multiple edge loops and 2. I'm going to click there. This puts the edge loops in equal distance from each other so I can scale them out evenly. And then I can go to edge, double click here, hold shift, double click here, press W, move them up. And I've effectively created that shape pretty easily there. Let me go to, let's see here. I go to face here. I'm going to marquee select over this. I'm going to deselect, holding control, deselect these there, and I can drag this down. Because that spine does get pretty thin as it lays down on the surface there. So make it pretty thin. And it can be rounded, all that stuff. Let's add on some control edges. So I'll go to my insert edge loop tool and I'll turn off multiple. I'll just reset my tool up here at the top. Click on that. Click here. Click here. Click here. And click here to add on control edges. This way, when I smooth this out by pressing 3, you can see it doesn't lose that square shape that it would have. And then I can add on control edges to control this area around the spine as well. So like one here and one here. And then go to object mode and press 3. You can see it's going to be much nicer now, right? Looks much more like a book. Okay, so I want to add on the little bumps. I was talking about having little bumps on here. So to do that, what I want to do is I want to use my multi-cut tool. And I'm going to hold shift and control. Okay, so I have mine set here. Let me reset this, reset the tool. So if you hold shift and control, you can snap. See, I can get snapped up to 10% and so on and so forth. I'm going to undo that. I want to change that, so double click this. I'm going to go to 5 here. 5, enter. I want to be able to put it at 15%. So shift and control to 15 right there. Just add in those. 1. And now I can make those little ridges, those little bumps. Face, click here. Shift, double click, shift, click. Shift, double click, shift, click. Shift, double click. And then I will extrude them. So I'm going to click on extrude, the extrude tool. I haven't set up my shelf completely yet. I'm going to pull on the blue. Go to object, I'm going to press 3. And then you have little ridges there. Now what I want to do is I actually want to take edge here, 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 these 3 edges, and then these 3 edges over here. Push them up slightly. Scale them in slightly to make that more like an actual book with ridges on it. Pretty cool. You got those cool little ridges on there. Awesome. So we have, well, we're not quite done yet. I do want to do, there's one thing I want to do. I'm going to go to my multi-cut tool, and holding shift and control, I'm going to get this right down the center here. Well, it wasn't quite right down the center. It's at the 45-degree point. Object mode, press 3. This is going to square off this edge here, this outer edge, quite a bit more than it already was. So that's going to be important because if we didn't, it would have been too rounded. If we didn't do that, it would be too rounded. And then if we put the control edges, so like along through here and down here, it would be too square. So just put one down the middle. That'll be enough. All right, cool. So let's save this. I'm going to set my project and save it. So I'm going to set project since it's not going to the correct folder. Open book. Set. Thank you. File. Save scene as. Of course, you want to put your name on it and then midterm or open book. Save as. All right, I'll see you in the next video.